All new at noon on UT10 News, justice for Sierra Joggin as sentencing continues for James Worley.
Plus, we examine the number of sex offenders living near UT's main and medical campuses.
And the Fish were back on the ice this weekend as they tried to lay the hammer down on the Nailers. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Humphrey.
And I'm Cameron Turner. We're following a developing story as we come up on the air. Sentencing for James Worley continues in Fulton County.
That's right, Cameron. Worley abducted and killed UT junior Sierra Joggin in 2016. And students say they want to see justice for her and her family.
She was an amazing person, just really bright and happy person and active and in the community.
Nearly 2 years later, and justice is being served for Sierra Joggin. She was abducted and killed by James Worley in Fulton County in 2016. Last Friday, Worley was found guilty on 17 charges, including aggravated murder and felonious assault. Happening now, his sentencing, and he'll either be sentenced to the death penalty or life in prison without parole.
What can we do to make this best for the families that were involved and for the community? Obviously, I think it should be probably a harsh penalty for what he did. I think that's what the community is kind of going to agree on, but we'll have to wait and see.
If sentenced to death, it will automatically go through an appeal process, and according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, that could take up to 20 years to complete. No word yet on Worley's sentence, but we'll be sure to bring you the latest on our Facebook page, UT10 News.
The Lucas County Sheriff's Office says there are 29 registered sex offenders in close proximity to UT's main campus.
UT10's Joshua Blount reports whether that should be cause for concern for students.
18 of the 29 offenders live within 1 mile of campus. Sex offenders fall into 3 categories. Tier 1 have to register with the sheriff in the county which they reside once a year for 15 years. Tier 2 must register every 6 months. Tier 3 offenders must register every 3 months for life.
There's a lot of young students who are impressionable, so I think that it's important to maybe have a limit, at least more than a mile away from campus where it's walkable.
There are 631 sex offenders listed on the Lucas County website. Many UT students do not have vehicles and are forced to walk or wait for transportation.
We highly recommend for students to walk in groups, not to be alone, not to walk alone. To have somebody with them.
To find out what offender lives in your area, go to our website, ut10news.com. You can check out details about the offender, their location, and what category of offense they fall in. I'm Joshua Blount for UT10 News.
UTPD is investigating a rash of thefts on the main campus lately of artwork. Sections of 2 sculptures were discovered missing on March 15th. Both pieces are valued at nearly $2,300. The profiling piece that once showed a family of 3 near the Student Union and Fieldhouse is missing the child figure. The second piece, once showing 3 roosters, is now only left with 2.
We have and will continue to check cameras to see if there's any evidence. If we get a good suspect, then we'll certainly add that to our bulletin.
If you have any information, contact UTPD.
UT has joined a regional partnership to make education more accessible in Northwest Ohio.
The partnership of 6 schools aims to increase the number of college graduates. UT10's Kenny Cruz has the details.
This regional compact was mandated by the Ohio Department of Higher Education. UT, BGSU, Owens, Northwest State, and Terra State Community Colleges, along with Rhodes State College, signed the compact.
We have a collaboration going with Bowling Green right now between our world languages departments, where in some cases a student would go to Bowling Green to take a language. In some cases a student would come here, and whether they're a UT student or a Bowling Green student.
Ayers hopes the schools will be constantly communicating with each other. The partnership will also streamline the academic process for students at any of the 6 schools.
We've mapped out a curriculum so a student can start at a 2-year school, know exactly what courses they need to take, know at what point they need to transfer to UT.
The Ohio Department of Higher Education estimates 65% of Ohio's workforce will need a college degree by 2025. Madison and Cameron.
Thanks, Kenny. An exhibit on UT's campus is calling attention to our nation's most overused rape myths. UT's Title IX office started Sexual Assault Awareness Month with the What Were You Wearing display. It recreated outfits of local victims and displayed them with their stories. The message: victims of all ages can be assaulted no matter what they're wearing.
really, I would love for them to come and look at this installation and then leave and still have that conversation further about this national issue.
The exhibit is open 9 to 5 in the Carlson Library this week.
A team of UT ecologists is receiving a $400,000 grant to conduct research in the oak openings region. The money is being used to electronically monitor red-headed woodpeckers and eastern box and spotted turtles. These species are native to northwest Ohio and southeast Michigan. When all three species are thriving together, it's the sign of a healthy ecosystem.
We want to look at what is the best habitat for overall productivity for each population, and then we can put on the map, here are the sites that have that habitat, here are the sites that best produced offspring.
The grant is funded by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Research begins this spring. And UT's Next Step program and the Ability Center are providing life skills for young adults with disabilities.
UT 10's Zach Gogol explores the benefits of this 3-year-old outreach.
The Ability Center creates an environment full of hands-on learning experience facilitated on the University of Toledo.
Learning how to write a resume, how to do an interview. They're learning networking skills. They're really gaining those necessary skills that they're going to need to have after they are done with high school.
Students are employed at professional entry-level positions within area companies and attend classes to further their education on employability. During the summer, students work on independent living skills such as grocery shopping, meal preparation, and laundry.
The staff is kind and generous, and the information they provide is extremely helpful.
Students not only develop skills in socialization, but gain valuable friendships that last a lifetime. If your son or daughter would like to enroll in the Life Skills program or the Next Step summer program, go to our website. I'm Zach Gogol, and this is your UT 10 News.
I'm Rosalind Wickham, and this is your UT 10 Sports Report. The women's tennis team broke out the rackets this weekend against Northern Illinois, and the softball team took on the Golden Flashes on the road. But first, tensions were high on the ice as the Walleye took on their rival, the Wheeling Nailers. The Huntington Center was sold out on Friday as the Walleye got off to a hot start. Scoring in the first minute was Shane Birchback on a quick wrist shot from the side of the goal. The Walleye closed out the first period with another goal from Charlie O'Connor with 2 seconds remaining. The Fish kept the pressure on in the second period as Colin Jacobs put the puck in the net on an assist from O'Connor. Later in the second, the Nailers took out their anger, instigating 5 fights. Christian Hilbrich joined the scoring party on a breakaway goal in the last period. The Nailers would add a goal, but it was too little too late. Walleye win 4-1. To tennis, the women look to bounce back against Northern Illinois after dropping their last 2 matches. Colleen O'Brien and Didi Lena Bachong started off doubles play with the victory, extending their win streak to 13. Toledo then dominated NIU in the singles matches. Sydney Huck got things started with strong offensive play, winning her match in 2 straight sets. Lena Bachong followed suit, sweeping her opponent in 2 sets as she continues to be a force on the court. Kokoro Chizaski took her match to 3 sets, picking up a hard-fought victory. In the end, Rockets would defeat the Huskies 6-1 for their first conference win.
When the energy is good, it bleeds over from court to court, and I think everyone felt, the positive vibe that we had going today.
Rockets hope to carry this momentum over to their next match against Bowling Green on Friday. After splitting the first 2 games of the series, the Rockets look to wrap up the weekend on the diamond with a win on Sunday against Kent State. Megan Choate got Toledo on the board first with an RBI double. Katie Cozy accounted for 2 runs in the third with a 2-run homer. Later that inning, Kent State tied the game, but Bailey Curry put a bow on the game with a 2-run bomb. Rockets win 6-3. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Rosalind.
That's it for UT 10 News. For the latest breaking news from campus and bios from all UT 10 reporters, go to our website, ut10news.com.
For Cameron Turner, Rosalind Wickham, and all of our crew, I'm Madison Humphrey. Have a great week and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus.